Shattered bonds, explosive secrets, and a night Port Charles will never forget. Tuesday's episode of General Hospital, September 23rd, 2025, is one of those game-changing installments that doesn't just push the canvas forward, it flips it upside down. Port Charles becomes the epicenter of heartbreak, suspicion, revelation, and vengeance, leaving every character facing a choice that could change their destiny forever. From the Quartermaine estate still reeling after Monica's shocking funeral revelations, to Sonny battling whispers of betrayal inside his own empire, to Britt and Rocco locked in an emotional storm, to Jason and Carly cornered by a dangerous truth, every scene is a ticking time bomb. And by the time the credits roll, GH fans will be left shaken, shouting at their screens, and desperate for Wednesday's fallout. Let's dive deep into the September 23rd, 25-episode spoilers and break down every layered twist with creative expansions, dialogue-style moments, and speculative beats that make this a story marathon you won't forget. Monica's funeral may be over, but the aftershocks continue to ripple through Port Charles. On Tuesday, Tracy Quartermaine becomes the reluctant matriarch, forced to manage the chaos left behind by Monica's will and the arrival of new, mysterious heirs. Fans will recall that Tracy stunned the family the day before when she muttered 6 shocking words after the will's reading. We don't know the whole truth. On September 23rd, those words gain weight. Brooklyn confronts Tracy in the Quartermaine living room, accusing her of hiding more than she admits. You've known all along, haven't you? Monica didn't just have a will, she had secrets. And you're the only one left who knows how deep they go. Tracy tries to brush her off, but Ned and Leo overhear, leading to a 3-way battle that rips open old wounds about Yelku, family loyalty, and who truly belongs in the mansion now that outsiders are suddenly being recognized as heirs. By the end of the confrontation, Tracy drops a bombshell. Monica had been in contact with a long-lost Quartermaine relative months before her death, someone who could still show up at the mansion's front door. The family is floored, and speculation runs rampant. Who could it be? Fans are already buzzing online about whether GH is setting up the return of an impossible character like Dylan or even Jimmy Lee Holt's descendants. Across town, Jason Morgan is a man haunted. On Monday's episode, he was blindsided by Brick's discovery that Sidwell had killed Jason's closest relative before his own death. That revelation is still gnawing at him, and Tuesday forces Jason to face questions he'd rather bury. Carly corners Jason at the Metro Court, refusing to let him bottle up the truth. You think you can carry this on your shoulders, but you can't. Not anymore. Whoever Sidwell worked for isn't gone, Jason. They're here, watching us. And if you don't start talking, it won't just be your family in danger. It'll be mine, too. Jason resists at first, his loyalty to silence colliding with his need to protect Carly and their children. But when Carly mentions Donna and Avery's safety, Jason cracks, admitting that the chain of events surrounding Sidwell ties back to an enemy even Sonny doesn't fully understand. Fans can expect Jason to whisper the words that change everything. It wasn't just Sidwell. Someone bigger, someone we thought was dead, is pulling the strings. This revelation won't be fully named until later in the week, but the implications are staggering. GH is teasing that a classic villain may be returning to wreak havoc, and Jason is about to be the first one targeted. Sonny Corinthos, always one step ahead in the mob world, is suddenly one step behind. Tuesday's spoilers reveal that whispers of betrayal reach him from an unlikely source, Christina. Fresh from defending Blaze against a wave of judgment, Christina stops by Sonny's office to warn him that his organization has cracks. Blaze had overheard conversations at Charlie's pub that suggested someone inside Sonny's inner circle is feeding information to an enemy faction. Sonny doesn't want to believe it, but Dante confirms that intel from the PCPD suggests the same thing. This sets off an intense Sonny scene, the kind Maurice Benard thrives on, where paranoia and fury battle in his eyes. He summons Dex, only to find his once loyal protege struggling to answer questions cleanly. Could Dex be turning against him? Or is GH setting up a red herring betrayal? Either way, Sonny's empire is vulnerable, and Tuesday marks the start of what could be his greatest mob war yet. Yesterday, Britt shattered Rocco with 6 painful words that made him cry, exposing her inability to fully step into the mother role he desperately craves. On Tuesday, the emotional fallout continues. Dante finds Rocco sulking at the boxing gym, furious at Britt but also confused about his own identity. Rocco, snapping.
She doesn't want me, Dad.
She never did. And you can't fix that. Dante, caught between protecting his son and respecting Britt, struggles to find the right words. But Britt doesn't stay silent for long. She shows up at the gym, tearfully admitting she lashed out at Rocco because of her own fears of repeating the mistakes her father, Faison, made. In a raw and vulnerable moment, Britt kneels in front of Rocco, begging him to understand that her harshness wasn't rejection, it was terror. This storyline is building toward Britt's redemption, but also Rocco's independence arc. Spoilers suggest Rocco may soon pull away from both Britt and Dante, setting up a new chapter where he makes choices that shock the Falconeri family. Meanwhile, Willow is still spiraling after Wiley's shocking statement last week, words that painted her as a villain in his young eyes. Tuesday shows Willow visiting Sasha at the hospital, trying to distract herself by offering comfort, but Sasha gently pushes her to face the truth. You can't run from his words, Willow. Kids know more than we give them credit for. If Wiley sees something in you that scares him, maybe it's time you face it, not fight it. This moment is brutal for Willow, who has prided herself on being the perfect mother figure. But her inner cracks are showing, and Tuesday sets the stage for an upcoming custody storm that could turn her world upside down. Anna Devane is finally starting to realize that her niece Emma is tied far more deeply into the current spy war than she ever knew. Tuesday has Anna meeting with Robert, both alarmed after discovering Emma's dark past in Buenos Aires. Emma, meanwhile, secretly eavesdrops, realizing her aunt knows too much. This storyline is escalating fast, with GH hinting that Emma may not be entirely in control of her actions. Tuesday will end with a chilling cliffhanger, Emma holding an encrypted phone, whispering to an unknown caller she suspects. What do I do now? As the episode barrels toward its close, GH piles on the cliffhangers. At the Quartermain mansion, the doorbell rings, and everyone gasps at the sight of a stranger claiming to be Monica's true heir. Jason leaves the Metro Court only to find a cryptic note on his motorcycle. You're next, Quartermain. Sonny receives a phone call that makes his blood run cold, a voice from his past taunting. You thought you buried me, but I never die. Rocco sneaks out of the gym after his parents' emotional confrontation, heading straight toward a dangerous part of town. Emma's call ends with a mysterious voice saying, "Then eliminate her." By the end of Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025, Port Charles is a powder keg ready to explode. This is an episode that blends Quartermain legacy drama, mob intrigue, Falconeri family heartbreak, and spy thriller intensity, the 4 pillars that make General Hospital a soap powerhouse. Every character is being pushed into dangerous new territory, and the creative team is clearly laying groundwork for a massive November sweep showdown. Tuesday's GH is not just a bridge episode. It's a turning point, one that fans will be dissecting for weeks.